Today I'm filming the 2020 Mercedes-Benz AMG CLA35. This vehicle competes against the BMW M235i Grand Coupe and also the Audi A3. So my question for today's video is, how does this AMG stack up to the other competition? So looking at the front fascia of the Mercedes-Benz AMG CLA35, this has this beautiful exterior color, which is a $720 option. Also, you can get this in a bright sun yellow color as well, which I would prefer the sun yellow because it's more brighter and it does go with the black accents on this vehicle. Looking here at these headlights, these are swiveling LED headlights here. They're standard on every single CLA trim you can get. These also has the LED daytime running light with an LED turn signal. Looking at the lower part of your bumper, does have front parking sensors with the air intake to put a cooling over the wheels or the brakes. Looking at this unique grille here, this is a AMG style grille with the mesh finish, also with the Mercedes-Benz 3-point star. I actually like the front fascia of this vehicle as a sleek looking design. Under the hood here of the CLA, this has the company's 2-liter. It makes 302 horsepower, 295 pound-feet of torque. It's paired with a 7-speed speed shift dual clutch transmission. The engine is also mounted transversely. Your fuel economy numbers are 23 in the city, 29 on the highway, and 25 combined. And Mercedes recommends that you actually put premium in this thing. This one sits, it weighs around 3,500 pounds. So looking at the side proportions here of the Mercedes-Benz AMG, starting out with these tires and wheels, these are a 245/35 with Michelin tire. They're wrapped in a 19-inch rim design. I actually like the multi-spoke finish here. These rotors are cross-drilled and ventilated. It does have the Mercedes-AMG performance brakes. Looking at the side fender here, this does have a turbo badge here with the 4MATIC all-wheel drive system badge. LED side marker here on this black mirror cap. Every CLA is going to come standard with a standard size sunroof. Wheelbase is 107.4 with the overall length of 184.8. Let's look at the rear of the CLA35. The rear of the CLA35, looking at this rear spoiler, also my Tesla does have full LED tail lights. I actually like the tail light housing design. They are full LED, like I mentioned, with an LED turn signal, LED reverse light, and an LED brake light here as well. There is some badging here with the AMG badge, also the CLA35 badge, and also the 3-pointed star Mercedes emblem. Looking here at your rear diffuser down here, it does give the car more of an aggressive look here at the rear. Also with these painted black dual exhaust tips here as well. Open up the cargo here. Mercedes raised the cargo back here at 11.6 cubic feet of space. Remind you, the BMW M235i offers 15.2 cubic feet of space. Lifting up this low floor, Mercedes doesn't give you a spare tire, but they do give you a fix-a-flat kit. So looking at this sleek design of the Mercedes-Benz C35 in this denim exterior color, which is a $725 charge. But like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, I actually like the sun yellow exterior color. It does give the car more of a brighter approach with the black accents. But show you guys the key fob really quick. This is a Mercedes style key fob with some functions on here, which include the lock, unlock, a panic button, also with your trunk release. But walking up to the CLA here, you can rest your finger here. That will lock the door, and the mirrors will electrically fold in, as you can see there. And to unlock it, Mercedes does a sensor behind the door. Open up this interior here. My Tesla does have the black interior. You also can get this with the red inserts as well. The door panel here is a soft touch ejection molded plastic with some aluminum trim here. 3-person memory seats, heated seats only. My apologies. I'm surprised Mercedes didn't put cool seats on this particular trim here. Also, there is aluminum style door handle here with your window switches. It is express up, express down for all 4 windows, and this is for your mirror controls here. Your trunk release is going to be tucked away here with additional storage and a cup holder here. You also have lumbar support on these seats. These seats also do look a little funny, but I like the design. But hopping into the CLA really quick here, closing the door. Door sounds nice and solid, even with that pillarless glass design here. But to start up the CLA, just put your foot on the brake and press the start-stop button here. Once you fire up the CLA here, as you can see, my Tesla does have the 10.5 quarter screens here, which does look really nice. This is my first time reviewing the Mercedes-Benz that have the two dual 10.5 quarter screens here. Mercedes calls this, I'm sorry, cancel. Sorry guys, it's gonna keep doing that every time I say Mercedes. It's gonna pop right back up again. But this does have the 10.5 quarter MBUX displays here. As you guys can see, it's very nice, crystal clear, high definition screens here. And to cycle through different things, you can rub your finger on this portion here. As you can see, clicking out of this, you go to performance, your navigation, phone, assistance, which is your driver's assistance here. You can cycle through different things. You have a lot of customization with this dual screen here. As you can see, you can click this to display, and once you go down, you can click for sport. It's going to change the gauges red, of course, or a high bright yellow, which I think is a nice design here. There is some paddle shifter to shift to that 7-speed dual clutch transmission. Your stability control, the modes are going to be here. You can turn it on and off. You also have different drive modes, also a manual. And once you click this little portion down here, it's going to show up on the infotainment system here, whatever mode you're going to click it in, which is comfort, individual, or however you want to do it there. You can click this rotary dial here for sport, comfort, sport plus. This dial here, just like in the other Mercedes models as well. This steering wheel is going to be an option as well. So it does have some leather at the top with some suede Alcantara here on the sides. This is the AMG style steering wheel, is like a D-cut steering wheel as well. Your transmission selector is going to be here. To click down for drive and click up for reverse here. This camera does have a nice resolution with trajectory, also with distance mark. You can click this mode here for a different camera angle if you would like, and put it back in to park. You can just click that right there. You also have the automatic start-stop feature here. I actually like these circular air vents here. I'm not sure if you guys can, if it's picking up on camera, but the ambient lighting here is so beautiful. And at nighttime, I bet you this thing will look like an actual nightclub, to the simple fact. For example, I'm going to say, hey Mercedes. Hey Mercedes.
How may I help you?
Can you show me to the nearest gas station?
Please select an entry.
I'm going to click number 2.
What would you like to do next? The route is being calculated.
It's going to show you.
Please proceed.
When we get into the actual test drive here, I'm going to show you augmentation technology is. Basically, it's going to display what's in front of the vehicle. It's going to show the street and the name as well. It's going to use this camera, which is up here. It's going to display it on the screen. So when we get into the test drive, I'm going to show you guys how that works, which I think is a nice, cool feature. Mercedes was the first one to introduce that. Looking here at the dual climate control, it does have some hard buttons here. Unfortunately, my tester is missing the wireless charging pad. There's a USB-C here to connect to the Apple CarPlay. A 12-volt here, and there is 2 cup holders here as well. You just click these little portions out just in case you have a bigger cup holder. You can just leave it like this, or if you want to have a smaller cup, you want to make sure that it's not slipping around, you can just press that little button. It'll pop those little pieces out here. You also can move, you can cycle through the infotainment system with this trackpad here as well. It's very responsive, honestly. There's no lag. It moves just fine, but I would just basically touch it with my finger. I have a good reach here. I'm saying go back to the navigation here. Can't wait to get into the test drive and show you guys how the works here. Looking down here, this is a manual mode. You can click here to shift through that 7-speed dual clutch transmission here. The stability control, same thing as actually on the steering wheel, just in case you don't want to be touching these buttons, because it does have the gloss black trim here. Also your volume control for your radio. Also your dynamic, which is slippery, individual, comfort, sport, and sport plus. So there's a lot of different modes you can go through, from the steering wheel to the center console here, or the center stack. You can cycle through a whole bunch of things here with this car as well. Clicking this little car icon here, it does read the traffic signal. It does have an active emergency braking, attention assist, also blind spot monitoring as well. So this thing does come with a lot of Mercedes-Benz safety stuff. And every time you say Mercedes-Benz, is gonna pop right up. You can cycle through different things from the ambient lighting, like I mentioned. You can change it through different colors. Mercedes does have variety choices of colors here. You can go from a dawn blue, as you can see. I'm not sure if the camera's gonna pick it up, but I'll show you guys my best to show you guys how it really looks. The sun yellow, like I mentioned, It's not gonna really show it because it's too bright outside. But at nighttime, I can only imagine how this cabin would honestly look. Looking here at these seats, these are MB Tex leather seat. They're okay. They're not aggressively bolstered, but they do hold you in place. Maybe if Mercedes will upgrade the seats just a little bit more to give it just a little bit more bolstering. My Tesla does have the standard size sunroof. Every CLA does come with a standard size sunroof. Up here, there's some controls, LED lighting throughout the whole cabin here. Switch through. You can turn off your dome lights in here as well. You can turn them on if you would like. Looking here, part of the dashboard here, it does have this soft touch ejection molded plastic. Your AMG badging here. I like the black and silver striping here to signify that this is the AMG style trim here. The upper part of the dashboard does have this leather wrap material. Your glove box here is damped. It's not lined with felt. But let's hop into the back seat of the CLA35. So getting to the back seat of the CLA35. The door sounds nice and solid. The materials back here are going to be a soft touch ejection molded plastic with this nice aluminum door handle here. I'm surprised that there's no heated or cool seats back here, but you do get 2 map pockets here for storage, some rear air vents. Opening this cargo tray here, there's 2 USB-Cs here with a small cubby tray. Also, this hump here does intrude into the 3rd passenger seating, but you can definitely fit 3 people across. Mercedes raised the legroom back here at 33.9 inches of legroom. Pulling this armrest down here, surprised to see that there's no storage here, but Mercedes do give you 2 cup holders which come out in a nice fancy looking way here. But let's take the CLA out and see how it actually performs with that 7-speed dual clutch transmission. In the 2020 Mercedes-Benz AMG CLA35, honestly, I'm very impressed, especially with the exterior design. I like the full swiveling adaptive headlights that Mercedes offer. They're full LEDs instead of those cheap halogen headlights that they used to offer. But this vehicle does ride pretty good. Visibility in here is pretty good as well. This A-pillar here is kind of on the thick side, but you do get blind spot monitoring. The mirrors are here on my Tesla are kind of small, but you know, they're good to see out of at certain angles. The view in the back is pretty good, even though that rear window is a little small. But you know, you have Mercedes safety stuff, which is standard, which is emergency braking, rear cross traffic alert, also with the blind spot monitoring. So this thing does come fully loaded at this price point. But honestly, yeah, this car does ride pretty good. It's had the company's 2-liter engine, which makes 302 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque from a 7-speed speed shift dual clutch transmission. And my Tesla does have the automatic start stop as well, but I turned that off because I like automatic start stop in certain vehicles, but this is a Mercedes. You want to put that all the time. Fuel economy numbers are 23 in the city, 29 on the highway, and 25 combined. Mercedes says 0 to 60 in 4.8 seconds, so I'm going to test that out really quick. So I'm going to put the car, turn the traction off,
What
and
can I
then
do for you?
cancel. I'm going to hit the accelerator and the brake. Oh God. I'm not going to do a full 60 because we're in a residential neighborhood, but Mercedes says 0 to 60 in 4.8 seconds. Honestly, I can't believe it. Also, with my Tesla having the 7-speed dual clutch, the dual clutch is very good. It shifts just fine. There's a lot to like about the Mercedes-Benz as well, even though it doesn't. When you say "Hey Mercedes," it turns on, and sometimes it doesn't. Hey Mercedes,
How may I help
can you give me directions to the nearest gas station?
What would you like to do?
Directions to the nearest gas station. I'm gonna see.
Please select an entry.
I'm gonna see it's gonna give me
Route
the
is being calculated.
option to show you guys the virtual reality that shows up on the display here. It's gonna tell me when to turn. It's gonna show discrete names and etc. But I'm really impressed by the performance that this one has. Like I mentioned, 302 horsepower, 295 pound-feet of torque from a 7-speed dual clutch. But if you just put this car in comfort mode, let me see if I can click here really quick. If I put into comfort, which is performance, no, I'll go back. put the suspension into, I'll show you guys the classic gauges here. Putting this thing into like a comfort mode, you can honestly just cruise. As you guys can see here, it shows what's in front of you from the camera that I showed you guys in the interior, and it'll tell you when to make a left or a right or when the street is approaching. But that's a very cool technology. So this car does have a lot of technology in it. Hey Mercedes.
How may I help you?
Cancel route.
Canceling route guidance.
This does have the 4MATIC all-wheel drive system that Mercedes offers. So it's a pretty good all-wheel drive system as well. When you put your foot down a little bit, the turbo builds up and you're on the go, even though, like I mentioned, this makes 302 horsepower, which is pretty decent horsepower for a car like this. Mind you, this car does compete against the BMW M235i and also the Audi A3. I haven't reviewed those vehicles yet, so I'm gonna just leave my judgment for that. But as of right now, this vehicle handles pretty good. Steering feel is good. The chassis does stay planted. Like I mentioned, this does have the all-wheel drive system, but acceleration-wise, it's right on the head. The turbos, they build up just fine. I think Mercedes gave this a pretty good amount of horsepower. Mind you, they have a CLA35, which offers a little bit more horsepower, so I think it makes about 382 horsepower or 389 horsepower. I might be filming that one very soon, so you guys be on the lookout for that. Like I mentioned, the paddle shifters, they're responsive, and also the transmission as well. Like I mentioned, it does have the 7-speed dual clutch transmission as well. But let's talk about pricing for the Mercedes-Benz AMG CLA35. Spending time with the 2020 Mercedes-Benz AMG CLA35. This vehicle is AMG enhanced. It has the company's 2-liter turbocharged engine, which makes 302 horsepower and with a quick shifting 7-speed dual clutch transmission. So how much does a CLA cost? My Tesla starts off at $46,990. And of course I have the Maroni here because this thing is full of options here. This does have the denim blue metallic, which is a $720 option, with the black leather, which is a $1,400 option. Also the AMG performance steering wheel, which is a $500 option, including the performance pack, which is $995. The augmented pack, which is $1,200, the AMG night package, which is $750. My Tesla stickers for $58,515. If you're looking to purchase a CLA AMG C35, you can come to Mercedes-Benz of Cutler Bay and ask for Jack. And this is my full review on the 2020 Mercedes-Benz AMG CLA35. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram at DriveOnReviews, and please keep subscribing to my YouTube channel. I'll see you all in the next video.